15 years on from that invasion and occupation of Iraq by the US and its allies, do you have any regrets? Do you have anything you want to apologize for or you think the US should apologize for?
There is nothing to apologize for.
Nothing to apologize for. So when the US invaded Iraq in 2003, in defiance of international law, no WMDs found, no al-Qaeda connections, terror threat to the US increased, thousands of people tortured, hundreds of thousands killed, millions displaced from their homes, Iran's influence increased in the region, ISIL born in Iraq, several $1 trillion burned through in the process. You don't think that requires any kind of, you know what, we got some things wrong?
Well, we certainly did get some things wrong, but that's what happens. When I was assigned to Iraq, I did my job.
Did the United Nations Security Council approve the war in Iraq? Kofi Annan said it was a violation of international law.
No, they didn't.
France, Germany, Russia, China. Did the German intelligence services not have the same intelligence as you?
They did.
The majority of the world, polling-wise, was against the war. The majority of the world didn't support the war at the United Nations in any shape or form or objected to it. Even at the time when you were a spokesman back in 2004, when images were being shown on news channels of Iraqi civilians being killed by US forces, you famously advised people to, quote, change the channel. But the facts are the facts. Thousands of people did lose their lives in Iraq, continue to die today. You can't just look away. You can't just change the channel when confronted with that. You don't think the US soldiers carried out massacres of civilians in Iraq?
I don't.
What was the Haditha massacre? What was the Mehdir massacre? What was the Balad massacre? Women raped, people shot dead.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When the Soviet Union ended in 1991, the United States literally believed this is now a US world and we will do as we want. The wars in the Middle East, Serbia, the wars in Africa, these are wars that the United States led and caused. And this has been true for more than 40 years. Europe has not had any foreign policy during this period that I can figure out. No voice, no unity, no clarity, only American loyalty. Please don't have American officials as head of Europe. Have European officials. Have a European foreign policy. You're going to be living with Russia for a long time, so please negotiate with Russia. Trump and President Putin will agree to end the war. If Europe does all its great warmongering, it doesn't matter. The war is ending. Not one word is told to the American people about anything, or to you, or by any of your newspapers these days. This idea that Putin's reconstructing the Russian Empire, this is childish propaganda. So the war started. What was Putin's intention in the war? I can tell you what his intention was. When Zelensky said in 7 days, let's negotiate, I know the details of this exquisitely. I flew to Ankara to listen in detail to what the mediators were doing. Ukraine walked away unilaterally from a near agreement. Why? Because the United States told them to. I begged the Ukrainians, and I had a track record with the Ukrainians. I advised the Ukrainians. I'm not anti-Ukrainian, I'm pro-Ukrainian completely. I said, save your lives, save your sovereignty, save your territory, be neutral. Don't listen to the Americans. I repeated to them the famous adage of Henry Kissinger, that to be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal.